Hello, hello. All right, tip number 3. You are now a regular person who sits in a chair, eats about 4-hour intervals apart. You've cut down on snacking and grazing. You now are using delayed gratification. You are covering or working on covering 50% of your plate in vegetables, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you are losing weight, okay? The next stretch goal that we want to put into place for somebody who doesn't want to track calories or points, but wants to lose weight, if you're doing all of that super consistent, super routinely, the next move you would make is to get yourself a food scale and start paying attention to portion sizes with proteins, fats, and carbs. So if I'm looking at somebody and they go, hey, Heather, I'm stalling out. I did those first 2 things and weight was coming off pretty well. And now I'm at a place where that's all really routine, but I'm kind of not budging with my weight. What I would encourage you to do, again, we are not tracking, but what I'd encourage you to do is weigh out your cooked portion of protein. Is it 4 ounces or could it maybe be 6? So that little change, right, just becoming more aware of the portion size. You might cook with a little bit of olive oil. Yeah, you're getting in 50% of your vegetables on your plate and all that, but you're cooking it in olive oil, and maybe right now you're not aware of the fact you're cooking it in 2 or 3 tablespoons of olive oil as opposed to 1. So what we want to start to do is just use our food scale as a way to check in. And again, I'm going to go back to our primer video. This is not an intuitive eating approach. This is somebody who wants to lose weight. Goal is to get weight off body. They just don't want to have to be responsible for tracking and counting calories or points. They want to be able to do some lifestyle habit changes and see where that takes them. So weighing something on a food scale is most definitely going to help you, because once you've got your foundation of eating down, once you've increased vegetables to cover 50% of your plate, the next thing to tidy up the situation would be to be aware of portion sizes with protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So are you actually eating a cup of rice, or could you potentially be eating a cup and a half or a cup and 3/4? Are you maybe putting more than a tablespoon of butter on your baked potato? That kind of stuff will add up very quickly. So for somebody who's ready to push it to the next level, you having a food scale on your counter, and the easiest way to do this is slap your plate up on the food scale, zero it out. Go ahead and portion out your chicken. Okay, 4 ounces of chicken is a serving. I'm gonna put 4 ounces of chicken on my plate. I'm gonna go ahead and put my 5 ounces of sweet potato on here. Make sure it's about 5 ounces. Now this is another great tip too for even somebody who's counting calories, because by weighing your food and seeing it plated, you will have a much better and honest depiction of restaurant food and what is constituting a portion for these things. And then if you're choosing to have like a half of an avocado, and let's just say you assume it should be about 50 grams or whatever, you might get a ginormous avocado and find out that a half of it is actually pushing 80 grams. And it's like, whoa, a little bit too much there, right? So this gives you an opportunity to check in with the quantities of your food. Am I actually correct? Now, do you need to write all this down? No, but do know what constitutes a portion. Make sure that you're checking in at this level to see if you're exceeding that portion, and then start to dial it back. Start to actually maybe take a little bit of chicken off the plate if it's exceeding 4 ounces. Take a little bit of the rice off if it's exceeding a cup. Start to make those slight modifications, and what will happen again is your weight will continue to go down, because this is a tip for everyone, right? When your scale stops budging and everything seemingly is still happening correctly, I find the food scale will correct 90% of weight loss stalls. So for those of you, whether you're counting or not counting, this tip would be extremely helpful. And even your fruit, if you find you're eating a lot more fruit, you might just want to weigh it and see, because like certain tropical fruits are really high in calories. So you might find, oh, I thought I was having a banana, but it turns out one of these ginormous bananas is like 3 bananas. So maybe cutting it back to a third. So those little things of becoming aware of what portions are and using your food scale does not require tracking, but it requires you to be self-aware, disciplined, and consistent. You guys have a great day. I hope this series is helping you. Let me know if there's anything else I can offer up as far as how to lose weight without tracking calories or points. I'll talk to you soon.